The grease-stained hands of a single dad trembled under the flickering garage lights as he stared at an engine that refused to live again, knowing that if this miracle didn't happen, his daughter's fragile hope might fade with it. The night smelled of oil, rust, and quiet desperation, and in that small, crumbling workshop, a promise hung heavier than any broken machine ever could. This was not just about fixing a car, it was about saving a future that the world had already decided wasn't worth much. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet strength of people who refuse to give up, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel Bright Hearts. Your support keeps stories like this alive. The mechanic's name was Adam Hale, a man whose life had been stripped down piece by piece until only responsibility and love remained. Once, he had dreams larger than the garage walls that now boxed him in, but life had a way of tightening its grip without asking permission. His wife had passed away suddenly years earlier, leaving him alone with their 6-year-old daughter, Lily, and a mountain of bills that grew faster than any paycheck he earned. Adam worked long hours fixing other people's broken vehicles, inhaling fumes and swallowing pride, all while pretending exhaustion was just another part of the job. Every night, he washed the grease from his hands before tucking Lily into bed, careful not to let her see how tired he truly was. Lily was the kind of child whose smile made strangers pause and soften. Despite a weak heart condition that required constant treatment, she carried a gentleness that felt out of place in a harsh world. Hospital visits were as common to her as playgrounds were to other children, and Adam learned to read medical charts the way other fathers read bedtime stories. Doctors spoke in cautious tones, explaining costs and procedures, while Adam nodded and smiled, hiding the terror that screamed inside his chest. The word miracle floated around those sterile rooms like a cruel joke, something people said when they had nothing else left to offer. The miracle Adam promised Lily wasn't a cure he couldn't afford or a surgery he couldn't guarantee. It was smaller, simpler, and yet just as impossible. He told her that one day he would fix up an old car so they could drive far away, past hospitals and bills, to a place where she could breathe without fear. That promise became her anchor. She drew pictures of them on long roads under open skies, and Adam pinned them to the garage wall as reminders of why he couldn't stop. One afternoon, an opportunity rolled into the garage on 4 flawless tires. A luxury sports car gleamed under the sun, polished to perfection, driven by a well-known local millionaire whose presence alone shifted the air. The man was famous for his wealth and infamous for his arrogance, someone who believed money was proof of superiority. He needed a rare mechanical adjustment, something other shops had refused to touch, and Adam, desperate for higher pay, agreed to take the risk. The millionaire watched with thinly veiled amusement as Adam worked, his expensive shoes never touching the oil-stained floor. As days passed, Adam poured everything into that job, researching late at night and skipping meals to make sure nothing went wrong. The pay from that single repair could cover Lily's next round of treatments and maybe even buy parts for the old car he'd promised her. But when the job was finished and the engine purred perfectly, the millionaire laughed, brushing off Adam's careful work as luck rather than skill. He mocked the tiny garage, the worn tools, and the idea that someone like Adam could ever dream of more. Then he delayed the payment, citing excuses, paperwork, and convenience, leaving Adam standing there with clenched fists and no power to fight back. The humiliation burned deeper than the unpaid bill. Word spread quickly, and other customers hesitated, afraid of associating with a mechanic who had crossed someone powerful. The garage grew quieter, the silence broken only by the ticking of cooling engines and Adam's own doubts. Bills piled up, Lily's treatments loomed, and the old car sat untouched in the corner, a rusted symbol of a promise slipping away. Some nights, Adam stayed awake in his truck outside the hospital, staring at the steering wheel and wondering how long hope could survive without results. Everything shifted the night Lily collapsed unexpectedly, her small body overwhelmed by pain and fear. In the harsh glow of emergency room lights, Adam felt smaller than he ever had, reduced to a father with empty pockets and shaking hands. Doctors spoke again of miracles, but this time their voices carried urgency instead of comfort. Adam prayed silently, not for wealth or revenge, but for time. Time to fix what was broken, time to keep his promise, time to prove that love could outwork despair. In the days that followed, something inside Adam hardened into resolve.